What's up, everyone? This is Mike and Adam with Fourth and Whatever, bringing you another episode. And we've got some good topics today, Adam. I think there'll be
Yeah.
some fun things to talk about for sure. Be a little bit, just some conversation kind of going on, for some news and stuff that's kind of came about here recently. And we're just going to go ahead and get right into it here. At the first thing, we had a video about him last episode, so got a little bit of update on the Boo Carter situation. So I feel like we got to address that, right off the bat here, and just kind of get into what we've heard on that. Let him. He's back in Tennessee. He's on the team still, so he's not off the team. From what I gathered, though, it looks like he's got some things he's going to have to do to kind of earn his way back out on the field. I don't know what all the stipulations are, and I think some of the leadership in that locker room was kind of, it's not an NIL thing. I did read that.
Yep.
It's kind of with that locker room and some with the coaches, and which I'm glad. I kind of glad in that situation that it is kind of in house. It's not not got to do with the NIL stuff and everything, but and I'm glad he's back at Tennessee. Honestly, I know some people probably don't really like that. My opinion, people do. People make mistakes. Whatever was going on, don't know the situation. We don't know the full thing, and they're making him earn it back. I mean, they're not just like, hey, you're super talented. Here's your walk right back in. You can just do what you want to do. I'd say he's probably on some like strict kind of
Oh yeah.
things going on, guidelines and everything right now. But I mean, how do you feel about that, man? Just him coming back and being on the team and earning his spot, kind of.
Yeah, man. I agree with what you said, dude. I mean, it would have been a shame to have lost him. I mean, my Lord, you know what would have happened as soon as the next season hit or the next transfer portal window opened up. He would have been gone on another team in the SEC, and we would have eventually been playing against them. I think we can all agree on that. That definitely would have happened.
For sure.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that you saw some stuff online about how people were kind of hating on Heupel for letting him come back. I mean, I get it, I guess, because, when a situation like that pops up and all the headlines and stuff, when the head coach allows a player like that to come back into the locker room, a lot of people may look at it like, okay, what's the energy going to be? How is everyone truly going to feel about him just coming back to the team? Is that going to open the door for other players to just kind of act how they want, do what they want? At that point, you start to kind of mess with the culture that Heupel's built around the program, start to kind of mess with everyone's, I guess, outlook on Boo Carter as well. I mean, who knows
Yeah.
what the respect level is going to be. I do think, talking about what you said, how there's some things he's going to have to do to kind of be on the team and all that, which he is on the team. But a direct quote from Heupel, he said, Boo is part of our team here. There are some things he's got to accomplish to get back on the field. There's no set timelines. These were his words. And I kind of like what Josh Heupel said when asked about Boo Carter, because he had his fall camp just started, so he had his media day. Tennessee had their fall camp media day, and I really, that was off rip first question. I mean, obviously, right? That's one of the biggest topics in Tennessee for sure, but potentially SEC college football in general. I like how Heupel kind of got in front of it because before he really said anything, like when he first addressed the media, he did come out and say, "I'm gonna go ahead and clear the air with the Boo Carter situation. I know it's going to get brought up." He did say that things are going to be handled internally, and when it comes to the media asking other players questions about Boo Carter, Josh Heupel said that he will be the only one to handle and take questions surrounding the entire situation with Boo Carter. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I like that.
Yeah, you don't want to put any of your players on the spot. You don't want them to potentially slip up in an interview in the heat of the moment and say something that just makes the
Right.
situation even worse. So I thought that was really good. But yeah, dude,
The
I
media
mean,
wouldn't take anything and just run with it.
yeah, we know how they are. I mean, they're just out there trying to earn their paycheck too. The clickbait
For
type
sure.
stuff is definitely going to be the stuff that gets the most attention.
Absolutely.
But just kind of speaking on Boo Carter real quick, we can bounce back and forth on this, man. Just a dynamic player. I think that aside from the decision being made to let him come back on the team, aside from it being like a talent thing, which there's other factors that I'm sure they took into consideration, but solely looking at it from a talent point of view, you've got to have a guy like that on your team, right? I mean, you have to.
You do, man, and that's the thing, and the people get mad. I just kind of want to go back and address like people getting mad about Josh Heupel
Of course.
and things and stuff like that. But at the same time, Josh Heupel's already proved that he's got a backbone, and he won't tolerate things that would continue to hurt a team. So Boo Carter, I firmly believe if he was doing something that continued to hurt that locker room and didn't be like, all right, I'm here 100%. I'm going to give my all to
Yep.
Tennessee. I think if he didn't do that, then he definitely would not be playing this year. He might be still on the team, but he's not going to be out on the field, and I
Right.
firmly believe that, man. But at the same time, yeah, you've got to have a player like Boo Carter is just a talent, man. That he could be playing for any team if he wanted to, truthfully, based off
Yep.
his talent and his ability to potentially maybe get to see him a little bit on both sides of the field. So I hope he's got. I hope he truly has whatever's been going on. I hope that's figured out for him, and he's ready and focused, and just really wants to be there. I would like to.
Yep.
None of us know the situation, but I'd like to think, well, he is there. So I think he wants to be in Tennessee. That's what I'd like to think. So I hope that he's ready to prove that and really use his talents and be a big player for us. So. But yeah, he's a
Yeah.
player you got to have. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree, man. He's such an athlete. Like you said, both sides of the ball. Maybe we'll see that hopefully on offense a little bit. Even if it's just kind of like a decoy, everyone pays attention to the stuff that's said online and the videos that come out. I mean, even if teams see him line up on offense and he's just out there for a decoy, I mean that could potentially
Yeah.
disrupt some game plans defensively.
A
The
couple
kid
of big
on,
plays in a game or something. I mean,
yeah,
that
yeah,
could be game changers right there. So
yeah, and he's obviously a threat every time the ball's punted to him. What really makes me happy about the decision to keep him on the team, and hopefully beyond this season, things stay the way they are right now with him being on the team. The kid's only a sophomore, man. I mean, we're looking at this year and potentially 2 more years. The way the landscape of college football is now, he probably won't stick around all the way through his senior year, but it would be nice to see him play this year and all of next year.
for sure.
I say local, but he's a Tennessee native. He's from Chattanooga.
Yeah.
The fact that we kept him is huge, man. I think it's a dynamic, game changing situation having him on the team. And hopefully the locker room culture aspect of it just kind of takes care of itself. I think we've got a lot of good leadership on the team, and I think that obviously Josh Heupel being at the forefront of that leadership, showing
Yeah.
that he is a good leader as well for the locker room, man.
Yeah. And the last thing I'm really going to say on it is if he shows up and he redeems himself and he gains the trust again and he
Yeah.
starts playing well and he's just putting out phenomenal games, the fans are going to forgive him. Fans will. So and it's just I'm not hating on Tennessee fans. It's just natural, man. You're gonna forgive that person, give them that second chance, and
Yep.
as long as they don't go full Nico on you, like you might, you know
Right.
what I mean. But
Right.
you're gonna forgive them. So yeah, he just seems to play well there. But
I think I think something, and this will be how I end the Boo Carter segment here. Something cool that Josh Apple said during that press conference was he said, "We care about Boo as a person and a player. Everyone wants the best for him. They want him to be the best for himself." So
yeah,
I think it goes beyond football. Whatever the situation was, it was like a lifestyle type thing. I think
yeah,
it just kind of feels like that. He was kind of maybe dabbling in something that he definitely shouldn't have been. Because you don't say stuff like that. You don't say stuff like we care about Boo as a person and a player. We want to see him do the best for himself. You don't you don't say that if it's like if he's just out here doing like ridiculous stuff. Like this was I
yeah.
really do think that this was a situation where we're like, man, we got to reach out to this kid and make sure he's okay. I don't know. That's just speculation. It just the way
Yeah.
he said it kind of made you feel like he might have been going down a wrong path or maybe surrounding himself with some of the wrong people. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, he just keeps surrounding himself with those
Yeah.
Knoxville people there in Tennessee, man. So those guys in that locker room. But But yeah, speaking of the players and the guys in the locker room and media stuff, man,
Yeah,
Joey Aguilar, we got to hear him in like an interview and kind of get to see him talk to press a little bit. Um,
yeah, that was cool too, by the way.
it was, man, and I'll start with it, man. I think that like for me, just listening to him through that, it really just sounded like a guy who really wants to be there, man.
Yep.
Very humble guy that wants to be there.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, I mean, I know you're just seeing interviews, you don't know how people, but he just seemed like a good dude. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
I
you
agree.
meet somebody or you hear somebody talking sometimes and you're just like, that's a good dude, man.
Yep.
Joey Aguilar seems like a good dude to me, and that, which is cool. But, just some things he talked about with like, I mean, I know he took like he's taking some of the team players out to eat and like getting to know them guys and like getting in there, and just making himself, a team player already. I feel like just
Yeah.
like putting that presence in as a leadership role and a quarterback should. Obviously you got to see who's going to win the starting position, but we've talked about that already, how we
Right.
think that's going to go. And man, just his excitement to be there. He seemed really excited and he said he wanted to go on the phone with Tennessee. I think he like really kind of jived with the coaches real well, um, and for me personally, I think it's cool. I mean, some people, don't always agree on like how they look at this, but like his faith and stuff, man, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, and as a guy, a believer in Jesus, like somebody like you see that's like putting that out there on the media, and I think he's
Yeah.
even said something about the coaches were like that, and him finding like a church. He found one in UCLA when he was going there. He was doing the same thing here, But
Yeah.
it's cool, man. I mean, not everybody like always sees that way, but
Right.
for me, it was just a cool thing. But I just think an overall good dude who really does want to be there, man, and seems to already be accepted pretty heavy by the player Tennessee
Yeah.
fans. Man, have been talking about him. I think there's excitement around him. So, but I think a lot of people in the comments, even I was looking on the video that I watched of it, and they were, I mean, people were impressed with how he was talking to him and like how just humble he seemed, man. I think
Yeah.
those kinds of things really just kind of stick out, and sometimes you can just tell when someone's been genuine. And
Yep.
I don't know, man. You see it in people sometimes, and I feel
Yeah.
like if anything, I'm not saying he's going to go and win the Heisman and be the best quarterback we ever had, nothing like that, but you can see genuine like good dude from what it seems
Yep.
like. But I know you probably have some things to say on it. I mean, you obviously watching some App State football before, like you have, and everything. Seeing him
Yeah.
come here has to be pretty cool. So I'll let you. What do you think of the interview, man?
Yeah. It's kind of funny how it came full circle, because I watched him play at App State quite a bit. I mean, there would have been no way for me to ever imagine that he would be a Tennessee Volunteer, right? So
Yeah,
that is really cool. I do like what you said about you kind of scrolled through the comments and you saw people kind of already rooting for him and
yeah,
fans already kind of praising him and being excited that he's here and stuff like that. He actually spoke to that in his interview, and it was kind of funny. It was probably the best quote out of the whole interview from him. But he said, I can't remember exactly word for word what he said, but he said something to the effect of one of the most surprising things to him was the fact that people already knew him and were treating him as if like he'd been there a while. And he kind of stopped and paused, and he's like, man, I haven't even done anything for this university yet, but I'm out here taking pictures with
yeah,
fans, signing autographs, and stuff like that. So I thought that was probably the coolest moment of his interview. He's like you said, he just seemed like a genuine dude. He
yeah,
legit seemed like someone that we would just kind of be kicking it in the living room with on the couch, watching a game or something.
yeah,
Super humble, very laid back, strong in his faith, and like I agree with what you said. You can see that in people, and I'm a believer that it makes a difference in your life as a whole. But one of the biggest things, and we've talked about the quarterback battle in an earlier episode, and we might even touch back on it as the season gets super close. I think
oh, for sure.
we're what are we now, 20 some days or something? I don't know, 30 days, something. We're very very close.
Very close.
But they also asked him how difficult it was to kind of transition into a new system, new coaching staff, new playbook, and all that. And he basically just kind of talked about his experience from starting out in JUCO, then going to App State. Obviously, he didn't play any games or anything at UCLA, but he still went there, still probably dove into their playbook, kind of started learning their system in his time there. But he just basically said the only thing is that playbooks and verbiage change, but most of the stuff that you learn over the course of your career and bouncing from team to team, most of that stuff kind of starts stacking on top of each other, and it makes things easier to adjust. I thought that was a pretty cool quote that he had there. But yeah, I think that his experience in college football alone would probably make something like that easier to transition into, starting out with a whole
Yeah.
new system. What do you think? I mean, it has to help.
It has to, man. And I think he even said something because, and being, it kind of goes in being a team player. He's talking about I know gets getting along with the other quarterbacks. They're all kind of working out together,
Yeah.
helping each other out. And they asked him like if his experience would help. And I do. And I think he mentioned right there is where he's like talking about the playbook and stuff
Uh-huh.
and how that obviously that would probably help some. But he said he did make comments like, but sometimes when you're just good at football, you're good at football. He was talking about
Yeah.
the other guys, like he's not counting them out. Like just because
Right.
he has the experience and stuff doesn't mean like if those guys come in and killed it, he knows that like if you're just good at it and you can win it, you can still win that starting position even
Yeah.
like without having that experience beforehand. So I think he's fully aware of that. But I do think though that's him talking to the media. I think personally, though, us talking to
Probably.
each other right now, I think it's going to have to help, man. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just, I get it, like, but the thing is, we know he's got talent too.
Yeah.
So, and he's had some, had some experience playing, and he's, App State, they don't always play easy teams, so it's not
No.
like they
Yeah.
were playing
It's true.
cupcake schedule all year, and so he's had some experience in that field and the changing from like
Yep.
different areas. So like he's definitely seen that and
Mhm.
adjusted to things. So yeah, I think he'll be able to adjust pretty well.
Yep.
And I do think ultimately his experience and the talent that he has is you're going to see a veteran player who's going to win the starting position
Yeah.
over the younger
I think
guys.
yeah, I think it's safe to say that he will be QB1, right? I mean, unless Jake Merklinger just comes out and just
Yeah.
absolutely destroys it, I do think that we are talking about our QB1 and Joey
Yeah.
Aguilar.
At least definitely starting. I mean, if he came out, maybe it was a close battle, but they went ahead
Right.
and started Joey, and then it was kind of, hey, he's doing all right, and then maybe Jake will get in there and get some opportunities. But I definitely see him starting the
Yep.
season now.
And no disrespect to the Sun Belt or App State or anything like that. But what's really exciting is this will be the first time in Joey Aguilar's career that he has the talent level around him, the supporting cast.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be real interesting and exciting to see how he utilizes all the weapons. I mean, this is SEC talent. I'm not sitting here saying that Tennessee has the top tier talent in the SEC. It's obviously not the case, or we'd be in Georgia's shoes or Alabama's shoes. But
no,
it's, I mean, at the end of the day, these are guys in the SEC, and it's going to be very cool to see how Joey utilizes those weapons around him for sure.
yeah. As bad as some people hate to admit it, Tennessee has been pulling some talent in. So there
Yeah,
has
that is true.
been a change at the university
Yeah,
in the Josh Hopkins.
yeah. And I think this is a perfect moment to go ahead and kind of switch into our next segment here, man. And it's speaking of players, I think what are we going to do? We're going to kind of bounce a couple players or even just one player. We're going to go ahead and give our opinions on the offensive impact players for 2025 and then the defensive impact players for 2025. And this
Yeah,
is just our opinions on who we think are going to just impact the game on that side of the ball the most this year, or at least we hope so.
yeah. And we're kind of narrowing it
Yeah.
down to one, for each on that.
Yeah.
But there's obviously more. The people that are watching this, there's several that's going to be on that. I mean, there's
Oh
22
yeah.
guys that's definitely going to be influencing it, and then so and then even more when you start counting whoever everybody on the team. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and
ultimately we know there's going to be key players, but
right. And with Tennessee, it seems like, especially on the defensive side of the ball, man, you've kind of got one A and one B players. Like you may actually start the game, but the guy behind you is getting just as many snaps as
Yeah,
you with the
totally.
rotations and all that stuff. So
For
yeah,
sure.
we've got a plethora of players that we could speak on, but I think we've
Yeah.
narrowed it down to one or two. So yeah, man, you want to go ahead and share your offensive impact player for 2025?
Yeah, man. So this is I hate when I was thinking about this, and I almost hate to do this because it's such a like you'd almost think it's like a cop out, obvious choice, but it's so detrimental, in my opinion, to Tennessee football this year. For me, dude, it's Joey Aguilar. I know
Gotcha.
that's an easy answer, but I say that because more than most years, this is a very important year for a Tennessee quarterback to play well.
Uh-huh.
And I think that Joey is going to be an impact player on the offensive side, the biggest impact player. I think how he's going to play, and if he plays really well, then Tennessee's going to do really well. If
I
he
agree.
comes in, takes that leadership role, and plays great, Tennessee will do really well this year. And I think aside from all the other things, there's many other factors. Trust me, I have a
Right.
couple. I mean, I don't want to say my other like little option I have just a minute right now, but I'll let you go first on your offensive thing. But I just wanted to pick him as my player. There's obviously several factors that I think really got to stand up or stand out this year. But my opinion, the most important I can think of as far as impact players to watch out for this year has to be Joey Aguilar on the offensive
Yeah.
side of the ball. And I know it's an easy answer,
No,
QB, but it's a
I
very
mean,
important this year.
dude, I mean, you're right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, and that goes for any team, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
if you don't have good quarterback play, you're probably not going to have a successful season. I mean,
yeah,
that's just the bottom line, dude. And I hope you're right. I mean, I hope he comes out and does, everything he needs to do. And the reality of it is, he really doesn't have to do too much. I mean, to be honest, I mean, that sounds weird when you say it, but as long as he protects the ball and he puts the ball into some playmakers' hands, I mean, you can be a game manager and still find
yeah,
success.
yeah.
But
I would
but
like to
you're
see some
right though,
deep
man.
shots this year, but yeah,
Yeah, and that leads me into my offensive
yeah,
impact player for 2025. I'll be honest with you, man. I went with Chris Brazel, and the reason I went with him is because I think there was some hype surrounding him coming into the 2024 season, and
yeah,
he just kind of fell short of it.
yeah,
He didn't really reach that level that I thought he should have gotten to. Didn't really get. Well, to be honest with you, we ran the ball so much that he really didn't get an opportunity
yeah.
to do much.
It's
Uh,
rough.
with the inconsistent deep shots,
Yeah,
sometimes when he was getting the ball thrown his way, it was overthrown, stuff like that. But yeah, the running game, which I wouldn't trade a good running game for hardly anything, but the fact that we had to rely on the running game so much last season, it just didn't give some of the wide receivers a chance to shine really. But I went with Chris Brazel. I think that the fact that Joey Aguilar is such a gunslinger and he has that mentality to kind of try to make some good plays and try to make some big plays.
yeah,
I think we're going to see Chris Brazel as maybe the number one target, man. I mean, I don't know.
yeah,
I mean, the guy is 6'5", first and foremost, so
yeah,
he's tall. He can go up and snatch the ball. I'm very excited to see what he does. Speaking back to last year, I pulled up just a few little statistics here to kind of show that he never really got that shine or what we thought he should have done. He only had 2 touchdowns last year.
yeah,
I mean, being that tall of a receiver and the potential to be that big of an impact player with 2 touchdowns, man. I mean, come on.
yeah. You
Uh,
got to throw a guy like that more in the end zone. Man.
you got to get the ball in that guy's hands. 330 yards and only 29 receptions all year, man. So just didn't meet that benchmark where I feel like a lot of Tennessee fans, myself included, thought that he should have been to. I think going into the 2025 season with a quarterback that has the potential to be an absolute gunslinger, that's what I'm going to call him all year. So, podcast, you might as well get used to it. I'm calling him Joey Gunslinger. I'm not even going to say Aguilar. That's
Joey.
Joey Gunslinger.
All
Or,
right.
But yeah, 2025 offensive impact player for me. I got Chris Brazzell. I threw Peyton Lewis down on my paper as well.
Yeah,
The only reason I did that is I want to see Peyton Lewis continue that strong tradition of good running
yeah,
backs in the Heupel era. So that's all I'll say about Peyton Lewis.
yeah. That'd be nice to see still the strong running game like we've had,
Yeah.
and we've maintained that. And I think we still will. Um, it's funny you say talking about Chris Brazzell because actually he was a player I was debating putting on there somewhere, thinking about like either a breakout type player or offensive player and to look out for. And him and like Mike Matthews, I honestly expect good seasons out of both of them.
Yep.
I think Aguilar's going to be throwing the ball a lot, and um, I expect them both to be able to have some good seasons.
Yep.
Uh,
Same,
and I
man.
expect just kind of be all around, good as far as running the ball and pass and stuff there with that. So it is funny that you mentioned that. Defensively, I'm going to let you go first on this one. Who is your defensive player to watch out to look out for? Impact player, defensive impact player this year.
Right. So I wrote down two names again on this one. I don't have big long spills about them like I did Brazel. First guy I'm going to mention is Jermod McCoy, obviously. Now, the thing with Jermod McCoy is we've got to get this guy healthy. We've got to see him get back in action. Everything that I've kind of read points towards potentially the Georgia game, maybe even missing the Georgia game and coming back week 4. That would be week 4, right? I think so. Potentially missing all the way through the Georgia game. If that happens, man, it's not really going to matter against ETSU, and I hope that never comes back to bite me. But having him in the Georgia game would be very impactful. So the timeline of Jamad McCoy coming back will depend on his impact on the defense, obviously.
Yeah.
But my number one player for defensive impact players, I went with Jackson Moy, and he's on that big, tough defensive line. He is a huge impact player. 2024, his junior season, he had 16 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, a forced fumble. I think this guy is going to take it another step forward this season. And I think that he's going to just have an even bigger season and a bigger impact. I'm a big defensive line guy. I like defensive linemen. And I think Jackson Moy is just going to be an absolute disruptor, man. So be on the lookout for Jackson Moy this season,
Yeah,
everybody,
sure. You know
because
what we've had here lately.
yeah, man, that defensive front for Tennessee is so impressive, man. I know we lost a few guys. I know we lost a few key guys, but man, if you look at the rotation last year, the guys that were coming in that are going to be on the team again this year, they were making plays.
Yes.
So that defensive line is stacked, and I look for Jackson Moy to be that key impact player for the 2025 season on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I can definitely see it, man. And like I said, the defensive line's just been so tough last couple of
Yeah.
years.
Oh
It's
yeah.
great to see for sure. Definitely puts the pressure on other teams' quarterbacks, and
Hmm.
that saved us a lot of times too because we haven't always had the best secondary, and even last year, was the best we've had in a while. And I say that to say it's funny because you mentioned McCoy. That's an obvious. Got to keep him healthy. Got to
Yep.
he's going to be a top player on the defense like he was last year, I believe,
Uh-huh.
as long as he can stay healthy. But for my defensive player, man, Boo Carter, it's on you, man. Like, impact player of the year. It's time to redeem it. Redeem
Yep.
how the season started. Go out there and, you know, probably a lot of people's hating on him some and like has a negative look of how he's going to be. But time to put all that to the side, brush all that
That's
off, earn your spot back on the field, and be a huge impact player on the defensive side of the ball. Hopefully a little bit on the offense too, and special teams, of course. But it's time to man have the two of them back there have like a really good secondary for the first time in a while, dude. Like
yes. We need it so
not just
bad.
be tough up front, not be tough in that like linebacker position, but be tough in the secondary too, and just have an all around defense, man. Make it
Yep.
tough on not pass. Make it tough to pass on us, not just because we're going to get after your quarterback, but once he does get there, then he's going to also have them to deal with. And,
Yes.
and guys that and Boo Carter's a type of player that if he intercepts the ball too, you got to turn around and play defense all of a sudden because he's going to try to take it to the house. So
Yes.
my impact player could be totally wrong, on that defensive side. He may not be the guy this year, but and assuming he still is going to be playing. But
Yeah,
I think he turns this thing around, and that's going to be my impact player is Boo Carter on the defensive side
sweet,
of the
man.
ball for us. So
Can't go wrong with that pick at all, dude. I think with this fall camp, now that fall camp is here and we are so close to the season, let's make this on the fourth and whatever podcast. Let's make this the turning point. We are no longer looking back at Nico, Boo Carter's controversy. We're no longer looking back at Joe Milton. We're no longer looking back at anything. Let's
it's all
from
forward
this.
this season, though.
Yes, we are now starting the 2025 season. Man, I can't. Gosh, I'm just getting so excited, dude. I cannot wait for this thing to get kicked
Gonna
off,
start
man.
getting hyped up here on the podcast,
Yeah,
dude.
dude. I
Moving
can't.
forward.
I almost wish that we had tickets to go down to Atlanta to see them play Syracuse for that first game, man. That would be so awesome.
I know, dude. I definitely got to catch that one. I will be on coming back. I'll be back that
I
morning
know,
on
man.
my cruise. But
I know,
yeah,
dude.
dude, I will make it back time to watch the game at least. I won't be back in Tennessee, but I will be back to where I'm going to be at the
Oh,
port and like,
yeah.
back in Tampa to watch that game. But dude, I know I wish I could we could just somehow be down there. But I love kicking off the season by starting off at one of the games. To go ahead and get this started off though too. One more thing here before we get into whatever topic. Then let's just go ahead and predict, man. Who I like to do this because it's cool. Like mainly because I did it with Jalen Hyatt and it worked out, and I thought it was really cool and it made me feel good about
Yeah.
myself. But
That's a that's an
let's
awesome story,
look
man.
back on it. So we'll have it on camera right now. When we're predicting this, who's your breakout player this year, man? Who's going to be Someone's just going to break out, have an awesome season.
Yep.
Who's it going to be for you?
Someone that's going to break out and have a gigantic season.
Huge
I
impact.
went with Yeah, I went with Mike Matthews, man, and you may have went with him too. I don't know, but the thing about Mike Matthews is last year, he didn't see the field much just because he's a freshman, right? I mean, he's not
Yeah.
going to see. You got all these seniors, and you got Brew McCoy and all these guys. You've got to let them play out their career. Man, all the fans were screaming for Mike Matthews last year, dude. Put Mike Matthews in the game. Put Mike Matthews in the
Yeah.
game. And he came in some mop up duty here and there. Obviously didn't see very much action, but he did score 2 touchdowns last year, so that has to count for something. One of them being against Vanderbilt, our little brother down there in Nashville. So I always gotta slap them a little bit.
I think they're going to win the Natty this year, but
Yeah, I think that's what Diego Pavia said. I think.
let's go. I mean, that's everybody's goal, But as
Yeah,
fans,
I. But yeah, I'm going with Mike Matthews, man, for the impact or not impact, but breakout. I'm looking for Mike Matthews to have a breakout season. The sky's the limit with the kid. Another one of those Boo Carter situations where the kid's only a sophomore, man. I want to see his career play out, at Tennessee. And I think once you get that kid on the field and he is one of the starters and he's playing lights out. I'm going to go ahead and predict that he has the best season out of all the wide receivers for us. May not be a Biletnikoff Award winner, may not. It could be. That'd be great.
yeah.
But I'm just going to step out and say that he will be the number one performer out of the wide receiver group in the 2025 season. Looking forward to see the kid play, man. Really am. I think everybody is.
No, I definitely see that, man. I will say this. I'm not going to put him as a breakout player, but again, I think there'll be more than one. I think he will break out. But I do agree
Yep.
with you. I think he will be the leading receiver this year as far as
Yep.
the receivers go. My breakout player from on my side, I'm going to go with Miles Kitselman, the senior
Mm.
tight end. And I'll tell you one of the
Yes.
other reasons why. He's already establishing a good relationship with Joey Aguilar. I did not mention this when we were talking about the interview because I didn't want it to. I wanted to mention it now.
Right.
And
You didn't want to
you know,
spoil it.
you're right. And they Joey had mentioned I mean, I think Miles is kind of becoming his boy. I think that's they've already kind of established in that good locker room relationship there, and hang out and stuff too. So that chemistry is going to be there. So if my prediction of Joey doing well is going to go right, then I
Right.
think Miles is going to be a big part of that. I think it's going to be a
Yeah.
breakout year for him in his senior season. I think he's going to give everything he's got here in this last year he's got for Tennessee. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, man. So that's going to be for the tight end position. I think that's going to be a breakout season. Like I said, I do think Mike Matthews will probably be the leading receiver.
Of course.
So I do agree with you on that for sure. I mean, you can't go wrong with that as a pick either. Um, but I mean, his name was on my paper for things,
Yep.
so I definitely think that that'll be good too. But yeah, that's
Yep.
gonna be my breakout season, man. So hopefully we're both right and they just both kill it.
Yeah, dude. Well, and the thing about that tight end position is, man, it's like I get it. Wide receivers are kind of out there blocking in space, but have you ever really seen a wide receiver try to block somebody, dude? I mean, they don't
Right.
really put forth a
No.
lot of effort. Miles Kitselman being right there on the front line, he's not only going to be protecting the quarterback on those deep ball passes that aren't really going to go to him, but every single play on that run game, he's on the front line and he's blocking. So tight end's talent and things that he does on the field may not always make it to paper, may not always make the headlines, but I think I agree with what you said there. Them already building that chemistry is going to be very vital to
Yeah.
their performance on the field, man. I think they're going to do great. I love Miles Kitselman, dude. He's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Same, dude. So it's good predictions, man. I don't know. I think I'm pumped. This episode's got me pumped for the season, dude. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's been
dude.
some
It's
good talk,
it's
some
it's
good
the
good
kickoff, man. It
predictions.
feels like a kickoff, you know?
And if you're watching this, dude, we've kind of been just talking to each other here. That's kind of forget that we're actually making a podcast here. If you're watching this, let us know who you think is going to be your breakout players, impact players, and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But as always, we're going to give you a whatever topic in this one too. And this is a popular, I think, topic right now. This is an ongoing. This is a movie. It's recently came out, kind of going on. Um, Adam, let's start with what's your opinion on Happy Gilmore too? We're just going to give our opinion on how we thought it was. So
Yeah, man.
we both watched it. We did clarify each other. So
We have seen it.
yeah, that actually watched the movie. So
Man, at first, I'll be honest with you, and I think everyone may have felt this way going into the movie. A little skeptical. I mean, I was a little skeptical at first. I think with any sequel to a movie, you have to kind of approach it with, you can't really go into it expecting too much, right? I mean, I think
right.
I had that mentality going into it. I think when I first sat down to watch it, I was kind of like, okay, I'm just going to sit down. I'm going to watch an Adam Sandler movie that are typically good. I don't really think I've seen a bad Adam Sandler movie, to be honest with you, but I didn't really go into it with the the mindset of, okay, this is Happy Gilmore 2 and it better be good. I went into it, I didn't want to set myself up for disappointment if the disappointment came.
For sure.
So sat down with it with a completely open mind. And I'll be honest with you, dude. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought the team of people that put that movie together, Adam Sandler mainly, I would imagine, I think they knocked it out of the park, dude. I think that they did just enough callback to the first one that was tasteful and not overly done.
Yeah.
I think they brought in the key vital characters from the first movie into the second one and did it flawlessly. They carried over a few of the storylines. I mean, my wife and I were laughing out loud almost the entire movie, man. I thought they did such a great job. One of the most surprising things I would say about the movie was Bad Bunny's role in the movie as
Bro.
Adam Sandler's
Right.
caddy, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he low key carried some of those scenes, man, and he was funny. I didn't even know he was a funny guy.
It
So
was good, dude.
I enjoyed it. I plan on watching it again without a doubt. I think it's a great movie. Adam Sandler did his thing on that one, man.
Yeah.
And the really cool thing about it, and I didn't know this, but my wife told me the daughter in the movie is actually his daughter. Now, this may be obvious to some people. I just didn't know it personally. The daughter in the movie was his daughter. Her ballet teacher or whatever is Adam Sandler's wife. And then the chick that was in what was that, a rehab or Alcohol
Yeah.
Anonymous or
His other
something?
daughter.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know
Yeah.
that, man. So that family dynamic that he's building in these movies as of late is freaking awesome too, man. He's putting his family out there
Yeah.
and helping them build a career. I thought they were great too. I thought they did well in it.
Yeah, for sure.
And
And I did know that that was the daughters, but yeah, a lot of
yeah,
people don't. I just knew it
Yeah,
from like
I didn't know.
if my wife would watch some movie or something that had his daughter in it fairly recently. So that's how I knew she
That's
was. And then
cool.
I had heard the other one was. So like
Yep.
that's the only way I knew. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, like I said, my wife and I watched it. We both loved it. Plan on watching it again. One other thing I'll add, and then I'll let you do your spill on it. The fact that John Daly was just living in Adam Sandler's garage throughout the whole movie was hilarious, man.
Dude, it's so
Hilarious.
Uncle John Daly.
Oh boy was hitting that, spoiler alert, oh boy was hitting that sanitizer.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that'll be the only spoiler we throw out there for you all. But yeah,
Yeah, sorry everybody.
it may be the daughters, but I mean, I think
Well,
a
people
lot of people
should have
know
seen
that
this
because
movie. They should have seen it already. I mean,
yeah. Spoiler alert: we won't give out like what happens, but spoiler alert, if that of those two things, if it's a little late for that, but if you're already here at this point, but I mean, a lot of people I knew before the movie that his daughters were in it, so. And his wife,
awesome, man.
his wife's in a lot of movies like that, that he does.
Yeah, yeah, I did know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I did
some
know
people
that.
probably knew that, but yeah, she's in a lot of movies like that. But no, man, me and my wife really liked this movie, and we laughed at it most of the time too. And I'll just go ahead and I kind of went in the same way you did with an open mind to things because I'd heard very mixed reviews.
Right.
And one of the things I heard is just like, oh, it's not nearly as good as the first one. Well, it wasn't. My thing is, it wasn't trying to be. I thought they did paid a perfect tribute to the first one. It's a legendary movie. You
Hmm.
can't just remake a movie half the time as a second one or do a sequel to a movie that was done years ago that was a legendary movie like that. And I think most would
Right.
agree Happy Gilmore is it's a classic, right, at this
Yeah,
point.
100%.
And so when you go a sequel of a classic, you're not really just trying to do better than that classic, but you're doing like a good tribute to that classic and then a continuation of just another good movie. And I just thought it was a good, heartfelt, funny movie. Like
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I never once didn't enjoy it, and I think sometimes we try to get so critical of the movies now and like every little detail, whereas like sometimes the point of a movie, you enjoy it, you laugh at it, you feel good after because it was like that was a pretty feel good movie, and
Hmm.
sometimes that's all a movie's meant to be. And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that, man. And I think for me, that's what it was, and it was a good movie, and I enjoyed that. And so sometimes, I mean, dude, when life's stressful enough as it is, so sometimes if I can just get a good, funny movie to sit down and watch, I mean, they and there's so,
Yeah.
and we won't spoil any more celebrities. There's a ton of celebrities in it,
Yeah.
random people in it. Some of the random was just so cool too. Just see them be like, oh, hey, that's so and so, and then
Yeah.
I really liked some aspects of some of the. Like I said, I won't really throw a spoiler out, but some of the like golfers and stuff that I thought was really cool.
Yeah. It was funny.
I actually could. I got to talk. So one of the things I thought was hilarious. I'm going to throw a spoiler alert right now. So if you don't want to know this scene's in the movie, just skip the next like 30 seconds.
But you should have already watched the movie.
Yeah, you
Let's
should have
just get
already
that
watched the
across.
movie, but right now I'm giving you a big warning right here not to watch any farther. We're almost done, anyways. You can skip the end of it. But dude, Scotty Scheffler getting put in jail, hilarious, dude. Just because, like,
Dude.
Scotty Scheffler, and you know what, like him actually getting arrested at that golf course
Yes.
trying to get in, or
Yes. Yes.
like it was earlier in the year, wasn't it? What?
Yep.
And just him being like, I know the drill, and like then watching the rest of it in the jail, dude. And then chilling out for a while in it. Like, that was
Dude,
that was hilarious, dude.
what
Throwing
got
that out
me at
there.
the what got me at the end of it, dude, is when he looked up at that cop or that prison guard or whatever it was, and
Yeah.
he was, yeah, what's for dinner tonight?
And he's like, yeah, I'll stay one more night because he could have got out. Like it's just that whole thing right there was just hilarious, man.
I'm
And
glad
like,
you caught that, man, because
yeah,
that I looked at my wife when that happened and I was just dying laughing,
yeah,
man.
dude. That was one of mine. Like I was telling my wife about it because I know she didn't really know the whole situation, but I was
Right.
like, this is funny because.
Yes,
So,
man.
anyways, that was great. But yeah, overall, great movie, man.
So what are we giving it? Let's go 1 to 10. Obviously 10 being the best. What would you give that movie if you had to give it a little rating?
It was tough because I'm trying to like be ten's absolute phenomenal, like
Yep.
blockbuster,
Right.
best movie I've ever seen type, and then right, so we're being I still want to rate it good, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give it a 7.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Like we're talking 10 being like a great
Right.
song. 7's good. Like that's a
Yeah.
good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I was probably going to edge it up a little bit to about 8.5, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, man.
If you asked me on a normal scale, I would say 8. But we did kind of play that out to be like, all right, 10's like
Oh
greatest movie
yeah,
I've
true.
ever seen. That's the only reason I did that. If we're
True.
saying like out of Adam Sandler movies, I'd probably say an 8.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to give people
Yeah.
some context on that. Like we're talking like, I'm talking about like the greatest movies I can think of.
Yeah. Maybe I should have led that into where does it stack up against all
Yeah.
his other movies.
Okay.
And
Yeah. I'd definitely give it an 8, man.
yeah, I think it fits right in with all of them, dude. It's an Adam Sandler movie through and through, man.
It is. Absolutely, man.
It's every. I
Good.
think it's everything you want out of a Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah. Good stuff, man, for sure.
Yeah,
And
dude,
I'll probably watch it again. So,
for sure. Well, I think that just about wraps us up. I don't think we said it at the beginning of the episode, but if you're still with us and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Subscribe to the channel just helps us build this thing up. We're trying to bring good content, trying to grow the channel as much as we can. So hit that
yeah,
subscribe button, like and comment on
absolutely.
the videos. Yeah, just help us spread this thing out there a little bit. Get some views on us there. Mike, you got anything else
Sure.
you want to lead them off with?
Shout out to Adam for making some awesome thumbnails lately on YouTube, by the way, if you are catching those. So, man, he's killing it on that. The thumbnails are the best, dude. Killer,
Yeah,
dude.
man. Thank you.
And I hope you guys watching this, hope you like us and want to watch us again, and, don't be like the people who hated the movie. Be like, or, just watch our podcast again, keep watching it.
Yeah, don't be too critical of us. We're
Don't be
not
hating.
professionals.
But no, but yeah, man, just anybody out there like and subscribe and keep catching those awesome thumbnails Adam's gonna do if anything. So at least catch the first of it. Put it on play and just let it play if you don't want to listen to us. No, but
No doubt.
as always, man, it's been a good time, dude. And until the next one, man. So see you later.
See you, brother.